All right, let's talk about the wild, high-stakes world of crypto trading. There's a new player in town, and it's not human. It's artificial intelligence. Today, we're going to dive deep into the algorithms that are built to try and conquer this digital frontier.
And really, it all boils down to one massive question. Can an algorithm actually outsmart pure chaos? I mean, think about it. The crypto market is 24/7, it's famous for being unpredictable, and it moves at a speed that, well, we just can't keep up with. So, is it even possible for a piece of code to find a signal in all that noise? And if you want to put a number on that chaos, get this. Bitcoin's volatility can be 10 times greater than what you'd see in major stock markets. We're talking about an environment where you can make or lose a fortune in literally minutes. It's the ultimate stress test for any trading AI.
Okay, Section 1, crypto's unsolvable problem, and it's a big one. Because human traders and the old models, they just can't keep up. The market is just too fast, way too complex, and insanely volatile. You've got a system that never sleeps and can swing wildly based on anything from a regulator's announcement to, a single tweet.
So, how do you even begin to tackle this? Well, developers have brought in a team of AI specialists. The best way to think about them is like 3 champions, right? Each one has a totally unique skill, and they're all designed to work together to try and bring some order to this digital chaos.
So first up on the team, we have the predictor. This one's all about deep learning. Now, what does that mean? Well, think of these super complex neural networks that are just brilliant at digging through mountains and mountains of old price data. Their whole job is to spot these tiny, hidden patterns that you or I would never see and then use them to guess where the price is going next. And some studies, they show this can be shockingly accurate.
All right, next on the roster is the strategist. This is where reinforcement learning comes in. I love this analogy. If deep learning is the one predicting the weather, reinforcement learning is the one deciding if you should actually bring in umbrella. It basically plays a game with a simulated market, running through millions of trades, learning from every mistake, until it figures out the absolute best move: buy, sell, or hold, to make the most money in any situation.
And our final champion is the listener, powered by natural language processing, or NLP. This AI is like the team's intelligence officer. It's not looking at charts at all. Nope, it reads. It's scanning millions of tweets, news articles, Reddit posts, you name it. And it's looking for the one thing that really drives crypto: human emotion, what we traders call market sentiment.
So how does this all come together? It's like a perfectly coordinated playbook. Step 1, the listener checks the buzz, right? It figures out if the market is feeling bullish or bearish. Step 2, the predictor takes that sentiment, mixes it with all the historical price data, and makes a forecast. And then, step 3, the strategist looks at everything and makes the final call, executing the trade. It's a beautiful, high-speed dance.
So we've met our AI trio. Now it's time to see what happens when they're let loose in the actual arena.
And their first, and maybe biggest, superpower is just raw speed. Okay, a human, on a good day, might react in 1/10 of a second. An AI, it can execute a trade in as little as 1/100th of a second. That's insanely fast. In the world of high-frequency trading, that's not just a small edge. It's like you're playing a completely different sport. But listen, speed and those big profit numbers, that's not the whole story. Not even close. And this is where things get really interesting, because we need to look at the real scorecard. In crypto, those massive gains you see can be a very, very dangerous illusion.
Yeah, this quote right here just nails it. High profits can mask unsustainable risk. Think about it. An AI bot can look like it's printing money, but what if it's taking absolutely insane risks to get there? What if it's just one unexpected market move away from wiping out the entire account? That's the real question.
And this chart, this shows you the paradox perfectly. You might see a bot advertised with this jaw-dropping 302% annualized return. And you're thinking, wow, I gotta get in on that. But what they don't show you, what they hide in the fine print, is the maximum drawdown. That's the biggest single loss from a high point. So if that number is 65%, it means that at some point, this genius bot lost nearly 2/3 of the account's value. That's not a strategy, my friend. That is a casino.
See, the pros, they use a totally different scorecard. They look at risk. They look at things like the Sharpe ratio, which basically tells you if you're getting good returns for the amount of risk you're taking, or if you're just getting lucky. And they obsess over maximum drawdown because it shows you the absolute worst-case scenario. These are the metrics that tell you if you're dealing with a solid algorithm or just a reckless gambler.
Which brings us right to the algorithm's Achilles heel. Because for all their incredible power, these AI champions have some serious, critical flaws. Flaws that can lead to absolute disaster.
And probably the most dangerous one of all is something called overfitting. Imagine a student who memorizes the answers to an old test perfectly. They get 100%. But then you give them a new test with slightly different questions and they fail completely. That's overfitting for an AI. It learns the past so perfectly, including all the random noise and flukes, that when it faces the real, live market, which is always different, it just breaks.
And believe me, overfitting is just the start. It's a total minefield of risks. You've got security vulnerabilities where hackers can steal your API keys and just drain your account. You have data poisoning, where someone could feed the AI bad info on purpose to mess with its decisions. And then there's the huge black box problem. A lot of the time, we have no idea why the AI is making its moves. It's just a black box, which makes it impossible to check its work and opens the door to all sorts of manipulation.
Okay, so we've seen the incredible power, and we've seen the terrifying risks. So what's the answer? How do you navigate this? Well, it turns out the solution isn't just building a smarter AI. It's about creating a better partnership, a human-AI alliance.
This is what the winning team looks like. The AI brings the things we can't do: inhuman speed, massive scale, recognizing patterns across tons of data. But the human brings everything the machine can't do: understanding context, making ethical judgments, and, this is the big one, taking accountability. The AI can do the number crunching, but a human needs to be there to make the final informed call.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. The future here isn't about letting the machines take over completely. It's about human-guided intelligence. You know, a hybrid approach. That's how you build something that's truly robust and sustainable. You get the best of both worlds, and you protect yourself from the worst of the risks.
And that leaves us with one last big question to chew on. In an age where algorithms can literally think and act faster than we can, what's the real value of our own human judgment? Something to think about, isn't it? Thanks for digging into this with us today.